So, okay, so what happened was when Dr. Ono went in there and looked, he saw this, and he saw a tumor pushing out this way. This is the epiglottis. The airway is here.
Okay.
Okay? So when he looked in there, he could barely see airway. Dr. Oppenheimer, with a little different equipment, probably got a little bit further down like this and got underneath it, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was able to show that your tumor is just resting. It's starting in your base of your tongue
mm-hmm.
and going this way. But if I had to draw it, your tumor is probably doing like this. It's just sitting right in this region here on top of the epiglottis. Okay. Some tumors grow through the epiglottis and do get into this airway area and cause obstruction.
Okay.
So that's what he wants to make sure. Yours, according to what he just showed me on your video there, is still right here.
It's still contained in my tongue.
In your tongue. Okay. It's also up in the pillar here.
Yeah, it's getting right into my tonsil.
In tonsil, yeah, and that's very common. Mm-hmm. But I agree with that video that I would not expect you to lose your airway during treatment. Correct.
Okay.
Or what he was worried about was it swelling up and actually closing off the airway.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's an acute problem that if you don't address immediately, you will die.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's why he was nervous. He was just nervous about that, just based on the way he saw it. So I know he didn't want to scare you, or I guess that's what he did. But he just wanted to make sure that this was not compromised. And if it is, even though it may only swell up 15% of the time during treatment, if you happen to be in that group, your life is at risk.
Well, what if it does swell up on me this time? How will I be?
I think you'll be okay based on that video, because I do agree with Dr. Oppenheimer that it will not swell up to the degree to completely block off your airway based on that video, because it's when it's still up here. If that were down here, then you get nervous about it. It's above your airway, above your vocal cords, above the airway. Mm-hmm. Even if it does swell a little bit and pushes this way, you can tell from that video that it's not going to swell that much.
It's not going to swell that much.
No.
So I mean, can you give me an example of is there another way to kind of show me how much it would swell up on one of these other pictures?
Okay, so let's give you an example. Let's say this is actually your tumor. That's actually just depicting the tongue. In fact, that's what yours does. Your tongue tumor comes right through here and fills up this whole space.
Okay.
And sitting on top of your...
And what's this right here?
Epiglottis.
Is this my airway?
Remember the airway picture we just showed in the video, and I had you turn it sideways?
Uh-huh.
So that's the front.
My airway.
That's your airway right there. So if that really is your tumor right here, you'd get maybe a swelling like that.
So I would still have... 75% of my airway
at least.
Open.
Oh yeah, based on that video you showed me. Yeah.
So the tumor it doesn't grow this much into. It's not going to swell up just humongously.
The swelling of the radiation would be up to here. It would not swell all the way across like that.
So it would just swell up just a little bit, like maybe 10% of its size, and then it would just start shrinking.
Exactly.
Okay.
The problem is when he looked down there, he thought you were already like this. Okay? And then if it swells 10%,
you're
gone.
Blocked, yeah.
That's all it was. So that's why, and I think correctly, he wanted to send you back to Dr. Oppenheimer to just confirm that somebody who has a little bit better equipment than we have here, because this is just a little simple scope we have, is to make sure that truly you are not have what we call an impending obstruction. Because if you are, you have to protect the airway.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
that's
I understand what a trach does.
So that's basically what it is.
Can I put you on camera?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. So now my next question is quality of life. Quality of life. Actually, I really have to do that. Yeah, well, just because I've got so many different opinions, and my brain goes crazy. So quality of life afterwards, all this. Let's just say everything goes as planned. It's gone. It shrinks. Let's just say it just becomes manageable. It just completely dies. Okay, it's gone. Okay, what's my quality of life? I've read on forums of people 3 years later not still able to swallow. They over-radiated. And they're breathing through a size of because of the radiation completely fried.